I got called into Blight court again today. And this is a Detroit thing. If the city drives by your property and sees something amiss, they will send a ticket. And in my case, we only had like a week from the time that the ticket hit our mail to the court date. So it was a bit of a hustle. And I'll tell you in this video what happened with my ticket and what it was about. But I wanted you to know there's a lot to learn attending Blight court. So in this video today, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks, some things that I learned, and guess what I did? I recorded the screen. So I'm not going to show the people's names, but I want you to hear a couple clips. I am Monique Burns. My husband and I buy houses in Detroit. We renovate them and we sell them to investors from all over the country and all over the world. We are selling our 3 bedrooms that are rent ready for $90,000, but I have another plan for you. If you want it for $85,000, I can discuss how you can make that happen. Just set up a time on Calendly and I'm happy to talk to you about that. And I want to thank my sponsor, Transformer Peptides. If you are in need of any peptides, you can use my discount code Monique10. You would be surprised how affordable they are on this website. So all these tickets are about what they call Corville cans, which are the Detroit trash cans. And the rule is that you cannot take them out any sooner than 6 p.m. the day before trash day. And you have to have them brought back in no later than 9 p.m. So you get just that window to have your cans out, and the rest of the week you cannot have your cans out. And when you bring them back in, they have to be either on the side of the house, past the side door, or behind the house. And this is like a really big deal. They drive around giving tickets for people that have their cans out on the wrong day. And every time I make videos in Detroit, every day looks like trash day on every street. So I'm not too unhappy about this, that the citizens are learning that there is an actual trash day. You don't get to just leave it out. They always seem a little bit surprised. So it just cleans it up, makes the city look better. So it's a money grab, but it's kind of good. You know, I don't know. Another clip was somebody that actually got out of a ticket for leaving their can out, garbage can out on the wrong day, which the last time I went to Blight court, not one person with the same excuses got out of their tickets. But today they did. And I found that very interesting. So you're going to want pen and paper if you want to know how this person managed to get out of it.
Is this your property in this photo, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, this photo will be admitted into evidence in City Exhibit number 1. It's showing a Corville container, the black container, in front of the house on a Tuesday. Your trash collection is on Thursday. What's your response, sir?
That, it doesn't look like the garbage container that is on our property, because we park it to the garbage containers are always to the right of the van.
Okay. Is there an address on that Corville container, Inspector?
It looks like something's been sprayed on it. I couldn't really make it out.
Okay, it doesn't definitely looks like a 6 something
Inspection.
Okay, I'm going to enter judgment not responsible on this ticket. There's an address on that can, and that can could belong to someone else because of an address on it, number 1. That's the main reason I'm going to find you not responsible, sir, okay, in this case?
Thank you very much, sir.
Let me tell you something, though, Mr. Dwyer.
Yes.
If your sister notices a Corville container or trash can in front of the house that doesn't belong to your property, then you need to try to figure out who it belongs to, or you can have the city come by and pick that up as an abandoned container, okay?
Can I order another one with the correct address on it? Or?
No, the city doesn't put stamp addresses on containers, okay?
Okay.
But we'll give you a phone number for your sister to call since she lives there. A phone number that she can call if there is a can in front of her house that doesn't belong to her. She can have it picked up. Inspector Tenant, can you provide Mr. Dwyer with that phone number, please?
Yes, the phone number to have an abandoned container removed is 313-876-0004.
If you are enjoying this video, could you please subscribe? It means so much to me and it keeps me and it keeps me motivated to keep making you more quality content like this.
Notice that you had a Corville container in front of the house. Your collection day is a Thursday. The photo was taken on a Tuesday. What's your response, sir?
My response is I'm disabled, so I can't go out there and move the garbage can. My worker didn't come over that day because of the weather. So that's why I wasn't moved.
Okay. Alrighty. Inspector Buchanan, do you have a phone? Oh, let me ask you, Mr. Poole, have you had an opportunity to contact the city about arranging for some assistance with getting your Corville container to the curb and away from the curb?
No, I didn't know nothing about that. I have a worker that come over and clean up and take care of my yard work.
Okay, I'm going to give you this phone number, or Inspector Buchanan is going to give you this phone number. Write it down, sir, okay?
What is it?
Hey, Mr. Poole, that number is area code 313-224. 3905.
3905.
And that is the Department of Public Works, the director's office, and let them know that you'd like to sign up for the Handicap Assistance Program.
Okay.
And they'll come out, someone will come out and approve you for that program.
All right.
Alrighty. In the meantime, I'm going to accept this photo as City Exhibit number 1 in this matter. Mr. Poole, I understand you have a worker that did not show up to move your can. However, sir, I'm going to find you responsible. The city has met its burden of proof. You've indicated you have no dispute here relative to that container belonging to you. So I'm going to enter a judgment of responsible. However, sir, I'm going to waive the fine. In this case, the $100 fine is going to be waived. You are going to be responsible for a $30 administrative fee. Okay.
So this next clip that I have for you is somebody that actually had out 3 cans. That's not allowed. You're only allowed to have 1, but she got out of it too.
Let me explain to everybody that unless you're able to get permission to have more than 1 Corville container, you're only allowed to have 1 Corville container. Now, if you're a 2-family flat, you're allowed to have 2. If you're a 3-family flat, you're allowed to have 3. But if you're a single family home, you're only supposed to have 1 Corville container, unless you can get permission to have more than 1. In this case, I don't think you have permission. You could receive, ma'am, a $1,500 ticket for having more than 1 container sitting out there. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. What I would recommend that you do is either you contact the city to get permission to have more than 1, or either you have the other 2 containers removed by the city.
Okay.
Inspector Katie, do you have a phone number for Ms. Bishop to contact?
Ms. Bishop, when you're ready,
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
that phone number will be 313-867. I'm sorry, 876. I'm sorry, excuse me. 313-876. 0004. That's the DPW. You can tell them that you would, you can let them know that you'd like to request permission to keep or information on how to surrender container.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do in this case, ma'am, I'm going to enter a judgment of responsible. Since your property is owner occupied, this is your first violation, this type of violation.
Your Honor, I'm sorry if I may. Ms. Bishop, you can also ask them about handicap assistance because you said you had a medical condition where they can provide some type of assistance so you don't have to rely on your daughter.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector. So, Ms. Bishop, I'm going to enter a judgment of responsible. However, I'm going to waive the fine because the property is owner occupied, and this is your first violation. I'm sure you now knowing that what the time frame is, that I'm sure this ticket will not need to be issued again, hopefully. So, at this point, I'm going to waive the fine of $100. You're going to be required to pay a $30 administrative fee. Okay.
There was one other case I want to tell you about before telling you about my case. And this was a landlord, and his tenant didn't bring in the trash can. It was his turn, and the judge called his case, and he said, "Do you live there?" "No, my tenants live there." "Well, what happened? Is this your house? Why are these cans out?" "Yes, that's my house." Yep, those are my garbage cans. Well, why are they out on the wrong day, the judge said. And he said, well, my tenants forgot to take them out. So the tip on this one, this guy did not get out of the ticket. The tip was that he should have had his tenant attend the hearing, because maybe the tenant has some kind of excuse. I can't imagine what besides these other two excuses that you already saw. But if you are a landlord, always have your tenant attend if they did not bring in their garbage cans, because what else are you going to do but plead guilty like this guy who had to pay the ticket. So then there was my case, and I kind of hate sharing this because it just makes me look like, you know, I knew better, which I did, but I'll share it with you anyway. We made a few mistakes, okay? So every time we are renovating a house, we'll take the trash out and put it on the side of the house. Well, that's not legal in Detroit. You cannot have any debris on the side of your house, even construction debris, which is making your house more beautiful. You're making a city that has blight everywhere prettier, and in the process, you're going to have construction debris. They don't care. That's not legal. They want us to put it in a dumpster and then haul it away, but it can never be piled up on the side of the house. Well, it's not financially reasonable for us to pay for a month's worth of a dumpster on the side of the house. So we don't usually get a ticket, but this time we did get a ticket. We've had the ticket before. We knew. Mistake number one. Shouldn't have done that, but you know, we made a decision. So it was time. I got the ticket, and what we should have done, what we didn't do, was we should have cleaned it up, called the inspector. And I've heard, I haven't had personal experience, that if you call the inspector before the court date, the inspector can possibly get rid of the ticket for you. So you don't have any ticket at all, which would have been ideal. Well, you know, time is money. We can only do so much. We are renovating a lot of houses right now, and that didn't happen. And it was yesterday that we were finally able to get rid of it. So I had to go to court, which meant I'm going to get some kind of fine. So we go to court, but luckily I knew to get photos. I asked my husband, get photos of, you know, like before and after the debris and then clearing the debris out. So he did, but embarrassing mistake, we didn't get pictures of the house to prove that that was the actual debris. Whoops. So don't just take the problem, take a picture of the whole house showing the problem, or the whole house after you fixed the problem. And the judge did point that out, but fortunately there was this big white door in the debris, and one of our photos showed the dumpster, and you could see the big white door in the dumpster. And when the inspector showed her picture, she showed the big white door in her picture, and this judge kindly used his own common sense. I swear that other woman judge would not have let us out of any of this. It was a $500 ticket. So this judge said, well, it looks like you were, you know, he didn't say it doesn't look like you're lying, but he was like, well, I'm using my judgment here. And he made a judgment that we have to pay half. So we have to pay $250 plus a $30 fine, and I'm about to go pay that now. But I just wanted you to know all these tricks, and they're good things to share with your tenants, the things you learned in this video today. So thank you so much for watching.